Hello and welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen and today I am making a soap using this fragrance from Nature's Garden. It's called Wedding Day. It smells so pretty. I have not soaped with this before. It got good reviews, says it doesn't cause acceleration, ricing, separation, discoloration. It's supposed to be good to go, and I'm really glad because I'm going to make a white on white soap today with piping on top. I was just thinking of weddings, wedding cakes. I just wanted this to be white, and that's my inspiration. Let me read the scent description. I have my computer off to the side here. It says a romantic complex fragrance oil with top notes of pears and apricots, middle notes of rose, orchids, birds of paradise, with bottom notes of fresh English ivy, sandalwood, and musk. So I really think all of those kind of feminine florals with the sandalwood and the musk, it's just beautiful. My husband liked it. So anyway, that's the kind of springboard for today's soap, and I said we're going to do white on white, and then on top, after I do some piping, I'm thinking of rosettes and making it real sort of beautiful on top. I have these tiny little, they're called nonpareillas. They're just little teeny little sugar pearls, and I thought I'd sprinkle a few of those on top maybe, just to sort of go with the whole white on white theme. So the goal is to make this smell divine, look beautiful. That's the goal for today. So I've got to get everything pulled together, and let's come back and make some wedding day soap. All right, we are back with soap additives today, and today it is only going to be my white Kaolin Clay because of this white on white. I don't want to add the colloidal oats because it might leave little beigey speckles, which normally I love, but because of today's design, we're going to leave out the oats. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of, well, heaping 2 tablespoons of white Kaolin Clay, which is going to be great. I love it. And also, let's talk about, after we get going on the soap, I'm going to split this off in a little container here and add a touch of titanium dioxide. So the batter will be an ivory white, and then I want a bright white swirl just to make it pretty. And I feel like it'll amplify the theme of the soap. So a little TD. And then for the piping on top, I have my Wilton 1M star tip that I'll do some rosettes on the top. And so I talked about the little white sugar pearls, but I found these, and they were part of a Halloween collection last year, but they have gold and silver and beige, and I might do, depending on how I'm feeling when I get done piping, I might throw a little bit of these on top just to glam it up just a little. I'm thinking about it. Haven't decided 100%. But they might go in there. So let's get this clay blended in, and we'll come back when the lye solution is cooled and ready to go. All right, we're back. My lye solution is ready, but you know what I've decided to do? I'm going to add another scoop of Kaolin Clay in here. I was just thinking about that, and I've been wanting to make a clay heavy soap. So here we go. We're going to add more because there's no oats in here. I've got room in this batter for more dry additives. So this has basically 4 tablespoons of clay in this soap. So I'm really anxious. We'll do a lather test at the end of the video just to see how this clay lathers up so I can describe it to you. Now that's all blended in, smooth as can be. I've got the fragrance already in here. It smells so good in the studio right now. And here is the lye solution. This is distilled water with cane sugar, sodium lactate, and tussa silk fibers. That's what's going on in here. And I have talked about why I add all the additives in here, so I don't need to repeat it. But I like all my additives. So let's get this blended up. I'm going to split off for a little titanium dioxide swirl, and we'll get to the piping and all the goodness. I'm hoping this comes out as pretty as it is in my mind. it's the next day. It's been about 24 hours since we got this in the mold. And look at that pretty top. I don't think it's photography. I took some photography of it, and I don't think the photographs are showing it to its best. It looks really pretty in person, and it's very ivory color. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those white swirls came out in here. And I've decided to change the name to this. I was thinking of white on white, and the way this looks and the smell of it, I'm going to call this Snow Day instead of Wedding Day, because Wedding Day is very inclusive, and I thought Snow Day would be a broader spectrum, and it kind of makes me think of that. When I put the white sprinkles down, I was thinking of snow, and then the little gold and silver in there made me think of Christmas trees. So Snow Day is what we're calling it. Let's get in there and see how the swirls came out. Are back with the lovely Olga, and look at how pretty these swirls came out. I'm very happy. I'm surprised at how ivory that uncolored portion is, being a non-discoloring fragrance. We'll see if it lightens up a little, but I'm glad that white swirl is popping out. So let's get in here and see how that in the pot swirl came out. I love in the pot swirls. They are so random, and you never know what you're going to get till you cut in, and I kind of love that. So let's see. Oh, it's going to be fun. All right. Oh, wow, it looks like little sound waves. That's very pretty. So this was at a medium type trace when I poured it. So it wasn't super fluid, which I'm really glad for. I didn't want these to all blend together, and you can definitely see the two different, uncolored and the titanium dioxide portion. And I love the piping. These look luscious. And I really seriously thought about the Wedding Day name, which I love. I think that's beautiful, but I don't know. We're coming into fall and then winter, and I wanted these to kind of represent, and the fragrance I think is really fresh and beautiful. So I thought of Snow Day, and to me that just seems like it will be a more inclusive name, a more popular name, if you will. So, you know, that's one of the things about making soap. So when you buy a fragrance, it comes with a name. Most fragrances have like a name. If it's a dupe, this is a dupe of something. I'm not sure. I think it might be a Bath and Body Works dupe, Wedding Day, but it is a dupe. So you get the name with the fragrance, and sometimes that throws me off. Like the name will be, you know, like Country Kitchen or something like that, and it'll smell like apples and pine, and it'll have scent notes in it, but because they suggested the name, I can't get past it. And so I really get stumped with creative name solutions for that. And some people are really good. They will just smell the scent and go, wow, this smells like, you know, fill in the blank, and they can go with the scent notes. But for me, unfortunately, once that name is presented to me, it's hard for me to get over that in my creative thought. I guess I'm a very literal thinker. So anyway, when I cut this, when I saw the top of this and the smell of it this morning, I'm like, you know, I'm thinking snow. So Snow Day it is. Let's keep cutting. All right, let's get into our next loaf. Look at that pretty twirl. Love it. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, after I get these cut and beveled and stamped, I will come back with one of the sample bars and give you a lather test in a couple of days. I like to give my soap at least 72 hours to do all the saponifying, soapy chemistry business that soap does, which I love the chemistry of soap making. And then it is completely pH balanced for soap after, if you've used the correct amount of lye and the correct amount of oils, after 48 to 72 hours, your soap is great soap, period. End of sentence. You can use it. But it has extra water in here. So the cure time is letting that extra water evaporate out. The soap gets harder. Some people say it gets milder. That is an interesting word, milder. The pH will stay the same. So if I test this soap, in fact, I will do a pH test. When we come back to do a lather test, I'll show you the pH of the soap. And after a 6-week, 8-week, 12-week cure time, that pH is going to be consistent. So the pH of the soap is not changing. It's not becoming less pH or anything like that. It's just dehydrating and becoming harder and longer lasting, which is good. You know, when you take the time to make an artisan soap like this and you sell it for what it's worth, which is not inexpensive. Buying artisan soap is not cheap. You want your bar to last a good long time. You know, big bang for your buck. So cure time for me is important for longevity. So that's what cure time means to me. But I really want to do the lather test and feel how this clay feels. This is a clay heavy soap. I didn't use the oats again. I did double clay in here, that Kaolin Clay, which it has wonderful skin benefits. I love clay in soaps, so I'm anxious to see how it feels in the lather. If I know clay is like I think I do, it's going to give a really creamy, slippy lather, which I love. But only time will tell, and we will come back and do that in a couple of days, and we'll do the pH test and all that, so you can come along with me for that. Let's get to our last loaf. All right, we are back with our last loaf here. And I'm so happy with how the tops came out. I think on camera here it's looking heavy on the little sugar pearls, but they are popping off as I'm cutting, and when I go in to stamp these bars and bevel the edges, more is going to fall off. So I kind of overdo the sprinkles because I know I'm going to lose some in translation. I don't think this soap is photographing as well as it's looking in person. I won't know until I get behind the camera and start editing this video, but I'm just saying that from what I'm seeing in the camera right now. It looks really beautiful in person, and I really hope that is coming through on the camera. It's so pretty. And I'm really happy I put the colored sprinkles on top. I just think they add a tiny little pop of bling to this, and I really wanted that. So super happy with these. Anyway, I will come back and talk through the lather test and the pH test, but for now I'm going to let these sit for several hours before I come in and do my beveling and stamping, because that is aggressive action when you do the stamping, the pounding with that little hammer that I use, my rubber mallet, which I love. You want your soap to be very firm before you come in with a stamp, otherwise you'll smoosh the bar or the stamp will stick and pull soap out when you lift it up. So I'm going to wait, you know, probably several hours before I come and do that, maybe even tomorrow. But we'll come back and talk through the lather test and the pH test. Thanks for watching. We'll see you when we come back for lather test. I'm back with a little sample bar of this clay heavy soap, and I have my little book of pH strips here, and we'll do a little pH test. This is 48 hours after unmolding it from the mold. So this is 48 hours in. Give it a shot. And this is just warm water in here, and it feels just very smooth on the hands immediately. Let's work up a lather. Oh, it's so nice. Every order I ship out, I try to put at least one or a couple little sample soaps in there because I love them so much. All right, that was just a couple of times around. The lather is abundant. It's very thick on the first round. Let's add a little water to this and get it to really bubble up. And that's how soaps are. They lather really dense at first, and then when you add water, you get the big bubbly soaps like that. Oh, it feels so smooth. I think that clay just feels wonderful. It's very slippy, not oily, but slippy and smooth. I think this would make a great shaving soap just because of the clays in there. It's very slippy, but it feels luxurious. I'm loving this. I'm going to have to do extra clay more often because this is making me happy. All right, so now let me grab my little pH strip here, and I'm going to just work up a little lather. This is the simple way to do pH testing. There are more complicated ways, but you know what? Let's just get this done. Okay, I'm going to grab up my little book here, and it gives you colors to match. The perfect pH for cold process soap is between 8 and 10. And let's hold this up here. There's 8 and 9. I'm going to call this a 9. It is the perfect pH. So this is just 48 hours after. It is pH perfect for soap, good to go, but I am still going to let these sit on the curing rack for several weeks and dehydrate so that they will be good, long-lasting bars of soap. So that's the difference between saponification, means that all the lye and the oils have done their thing, the pH is perfect. That's saponification. Cure time is the dehydrating, drying out any excess water will just dehydrate out, and you'll get a nice rock hard, firm bar of soap that will last you a lot longer. So there it is. All right, that's all I have to say about this. I am so excited. I'm going to take this little sliver in the shower with me. You know, this is a tiny little sliver. It's maybe ½ an ounce, but I'll get a good couple of showers out of this. I could shave my legs a few times. I mean, this little sample, it's tiny but mighty. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed today's video with this clay heavy, lovely soap. And I think it's going to be perfect coming into fall and into winter, and I love it. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.